So to close out the podcast, we're going to be discussing our NBA first team, second team, third team, and then we did our own thing where we're doing our most improved team because everyone always gets there. You only get one player that wins most improved player, but I feel like this should be a team type thing,
I 100% agree with that.
Because they're going to give a lot of attention to the Lukas and the Siakams of the world who they're the star. So of course you're going to give them, but there's other players who had great seasons that shouldn't just get buried behind Luka, obviously going to walk away with the award.
Yeah, no, so question for you real quick before we get into this. Who did you pick for your rookie of the year?
I think it's Ja.
Oh yeah, I went with Ja too. I think Zion would have taken it if he had gotten to play more of the season.
I thought it was going to be really.
Zion was playing out of his mind. He was playing what people expected and wanted him to play. He was averaging almost 24 points. He was, and what kind of was crazy to me, he was shooting. I mean, yes, he shoots a lot in the paint, but he was shooting 60% field goal percentage.
Yeah, he was disgusting,
very efficient
and all fast. Everyone's like, "Well, watch out for that 3-pointer." Do we forget the game he came in and he shot them back into the game?
Yes, first game he ever played, and he shot he made 3 or 4 threes in a row.
That was a great bar game.
Then they're like, you know what? You're making us come back. Sit on the bench. We don't want you in the game anymore.
They're like, Zion, we're trying to not make the playoffs. Get over here. It's a minutes restriction, they say with air quotes.
Yeah.
That was a great bar game. That's a game where it's where were you? And you're like, I was at the bar.
Yeah,
Scorps, for those who don't know. In Durham, New Hampshire, the hot spot of the Northeast.
Of course, the best bar you could ever find around here.
If you can get in.
Yeah, if you don't sit there for 2 hours before, then you're good. But
you're going to have a great time. All right, Jared, why don't you start us off with your give us your NBA first team, and then I'll tell you what I have.
All right, so for my first team, I feel like it's very, I feel this first team just has it, very specific people. It's going to be my guards. My 2 guards are Luka and Harden.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Giannis, LeBron, and then Anthony Davis. I feel like those 5 slots are just so hard to it's so controversial. You can't really, put anyone else there.
Yeah, imagine if you did.
What did you put?
Okay, so the only reason my list is the way it is I decided that if I feel like I did it from the perspective that the NBA is going to consider LeBron playing point guard this season, considering that's what the Lakers lineup has him being. So
then, yeah, that would have switched I think I would have done.
I'll tell you who
LeBron
I have.
over Luka.
I have LeBron, Harden, Davis, Giannis, and Jokic are my 5.
So you put Davis as a forward instead of a center?
Yeah, because JaVale plays center for the Lakers. But I know because he doesn't play the whole game, so I know what you mean. But why you put?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, ours were just a little different. If it was if I put AD at forward, I would have done Jokic. But yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be no disagreements on this first team. The second team and third team is where I'm expecting a little.
I think third team is where it's kind of switched. Second team is kind of also. I mean, I'll go first for second team.
All right.
I have Dame, CP3, Kawhi, Tatum, and Jokic.
All right. I have Doncic, Lillard as the guards, and then I have Kawhi and Siakam as my forwards, and I have Embiid as my center.
Yeah, it bumped it. Who would you have? Well, we'll figure out what your third team for guard. But yeah, your Luka got pushed down because of LeBron and stuff, and Jokic got pushed up. So I mean, it was somewhere around the same.
Why did you? I wanted to know because I guess our difference here is Siakam and Tatum. So I guess I need to hear your third team before I ask any questions.
Well, yeah. All right. I'll go. So I'll say for my guards. For third team, I did Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal. Mm-hmm. Is Jimmy under a guard or is he a forward?
I think he's a forward.
Oh, so I messed that one up. But I put him as a guard thinking he's a shooting guard. But I don't know. If it wasn't Jimmy Butler there, it would have been Russell Westbrook for me. But then there's Middleton, Siakam, and then Rudy Gobert.
Okay. I have Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul as my guards. I have Middleton and Tatum as my small forwards, and I have Andre Drummond as my center.
Drummond, hey, the Cleveland.
Okay, that is not why I picked it. Honestly,
No.
I think this is where the center being in the all team thing. I think it should just be positionless at this point.
Yeah,
because I don't think Drummond
players.
or Gobert belong on this list.
No,
but
I think it was Gobert or Embiid, but I just think Embiid hasn't really played. I don't know. He's been in and out. I feel like right this season. I'm pretty sure this season. I can't even remember. I thought he was didn't he get injured at one point? Was out for a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly picked Drummond because he's doing what he always does, and he somehow always will end up on some rendition of this list. And
yeah.
I'm like he's leading the league in rebounds, so I guess if we're qualifying him that you have to have a center, I'll take Drummond. I'm not saying he's my argument for why I didn't include certain players is that I value these as being they have to be making good impacts to their team, so that's why I made an honorable mentions, which for me was Beal, Booker, Young, Towns, Butler, Mitchell, Gobert, and Vucevic. And the thing that all those players basically have in common outside of Butler, Mitchell, and Gobert is that their teams suck.
Yes. Yep. No. Yeah. I was also valuing that. That's why I put CP3 on the second team because of how the Thunder actually have done this season and the impact he's had.
Yeah, that's why I picked Paul too.
But I put Bradley Beal third team just because he's the only good player on that Wizards team. Literally only good player, and he's the only reason they win games. He always performs. He's averaging the only other player in the league to average 30 right now. And he's if you watch, if he plays against, even against the really good teams, he shows up and he will torch the other team. And it's just, he's doing it with just him being the only player they have to guard. IT, you're right. Shit. IT's there somehow.
He was gone now.
Well, yeah, he was there. He bounced between 6 teams in the past 6 months.
What a fun ride.
Yeah, he was so good on the Celtics.
So why'd you pick Tatum over Siakam, I guess is my question.
I mean, I just think they're right below, their records aren't too far away from each other. Only 3 games back. But and their stats are really similar too. Tatum and Siakam stats are almost identical. I don't know. I think Siakam for me, I didn't expect more of him. Obviously, he's playing amazing. Siakam's an amazing player. But Tatum is he more so just shot up this season as everyone's last season after his first rookie year of playing in the playoffs and showing that he was a really good player, especially that whole playoff run they had. The last season, he didn't play to what everyone thought he was going to. And then this season, he's shown up as they have Kemba, but he's the star, I would say, of the Celtics. He's the man that will take the last shot, everything. And he's the past, the second half of the season that we got to watch before the coronavirus stuff, I think Tatum was starting to, he was going to hit a stride where he was going to even get better and probably maybe not average more points, but he would translate to more wins. So it's just more of I feel like a Siakam Tatum thing was more so a preference of player wise who you'd rather have, and I'm a Tatum person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Tatum fan, and I think he has so much potential to keep growing, and so does Siakam. But I just took Tatum second team. I couldn't pick Siakam over Tatum for me.
But they're both great, in the words of Jeremy Patton.
They're both amazing. I'll say it again. But I don't know. Tatum's my boy.
Yeah, I felt Siakam deserved it more in the sense that I think he carries more on his shoulders than Tatum does. I did put the record into account, but I also put the team around him as so when you look at Tatum, he still has Kemba Walker. He still has Jaylen Brown
Yeah,
as his 1-2.
he has that team from last season. Like he still does have the team from last season.
Yes, and his Cantor.
Yes, he does have Ennis Cantor too, who's a monster.
Who apparently has the most massive cheat days of anyone on the planet. For those who don't know, if you go on Twitter and look up Ennis Cantor, he'll post it all the time, be like, "Oh boy, here's my massive cheat day." And then if you look at Siakam, you have Kyle Lowry, it's like Kyle Lowry's still a very solid NBA player, but last season was definitely his apex.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go any past that.
Are we going to argue that Fred VanVleet is the third best player? Because Marc Gasol is no longer Marc Gasol.
No, he ain't the Marc Gasol he was when he was on the Grizzlies. But I will say Fred VanVleet, I think so. He's one of those. I forgot about him, to be honest, when thinking about the improved players too. But he's definitely, I think, the third best player on that team. I don't see putting anyone past him.
Yeah, so that's why I decided to put Siakam over Tatum. I think Siakam carries a much bigger load. And I also wait, did you have Lillard on your list?
Yeah, I had Dame in second team.
Oh, you had Paul and Lillard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Paul third because I put the Doncic LeBron thing.
Yeah, that whole thing at the beginning. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have been the same way. I would have kept Dame over CP3, 100%. I think Dame is so he's not underrated. I wouldn't say for most people, but I swear he is one of the most. He's not really considered one of the top. He hasn't really been in the top point guard conversation when people think about it. They're thinking Curry, Kyrie. They're thinking those two players and Russell Westbrook. Most people would put over him, but I think Dame is.
I think Dame's past Kyrie at this point.
I think he is. I'd rather have Dame than Kyrie.
I'd rather have Dame than Russell Westbrook too.
Oh, 100%. I love Russ. Still love Russ, but I think Dame's just a lot more of a team type player you'd want on any team. Russ kind of fits into a few teams.
All right.